Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. My name is Kai and today I'm going to be telling you about the 10 things that I stopped from my budget. In this channel we mostly speak about investing and how to allocate your money. But in order to invest money, you actually need to have money. So on the one hand side, we earn the money through income or salary, but we sometimes actually forget about how we're gonna save the money that we are making. And that's why today I'm gonna be telling you about the 10 things that I cut from my budget that I don't regret doing. Point number 1, subscriptions. Now it's so easy to fall into the subscription trap. Companies make it sound like it's only 2, 3, 5, 10 euros a month for you to pay to get their services. And that sounds financially attractive. But in reality, what often happens is that we sign up to so many because they're just small amounts every month. But over time, these small amounts, they do add up significantly. And I really recommend you to go through your monthly bank statement and see what are you actually paying for. And then ask yourself, do you really need it? Of course, I do have some subscriptions. And I think there's some great services out there where I'm really happy to pay those. But having gone through my bank statement, I can tell you I cut a lot of those services because we subscribe and then we just forget about them. And that's actually how those companies make their money. They bank on you signing up and then forget about it and just paying in perpetuity. And that's where you have to be conscious about your finances and become a financial minimalist and really go through regularly and make sure you cut those out, the ones that don't serve you any value. Second point, coffee. Now, I love coffee. I need my coffees. I actually drink 4 coffees a day. But what puzzles me is when I see young students or young professionals who go out there and buy 1, 2 Starbucks coffees a day. In Europe, a Starbucks coffee is anywhere from 4 to 5 euros. So let's assume it's 4 euros per coffee. Now you drink 2 coffees a day. That's 8 euros right there. Now if you spend 8 euros a day times 30 days, that's 240 euros you'll be spending on coffee. That's over 2,500 euros a year just on drinking coffee. Now I don't know about you, but I'm not gonna be spending 2,500 euros on coffee. Imagine if you could invest this number over 10 years with a 10% return, you could make significantly more money. But as I said, I love coffee myself. So what I do, I have an espresso machine at home. I put it in the morning in my to-go cup and I'm good. And here the coffee cost me only 30 cents compared to 4 euro outside. So really think about, is it really worth it? Now, of course, I'd go out with friends as well. And from time to time, I do buy my coffee in a coffee shop. But whenever I can avoid it, I will do so. Because I know that over time, those savings really add up and I'd rather use that money to invest. By the way, do you know what you call a cold and not very tasty coffee? A depresso. Point number 3, clothing. Now I'm definitely no fashion hunter. I basically have 2 main outfits. I have my professional wardrobe and then I have my days off or weekend, which basically consists of either black or a white t-shirt and a pair of jeans. That not only helps me to minimize my decision making of what I'm gonna have to wear, and it also reduces the space in my wardrobe and lastly the spending of it. Because so many people, they waste so much time and money to go out there and get the latest trends, and people always look to buy fancy things to impress other people. But I love the saying, you rather want to be rich than just look rich. And when you look at some of the richest people in the world, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, you don't see them wearing the Louis Vuitton belts or showing off their latest fashion accessory. On the contrary, they actually dress down. Mark Zuckerberg only wears gray shirts because it reduces 1 more decision a day. So that might be extreme, but I think having a reduced minimalistic wardrobe, it's a great time, space and money saver. Point number 4, make sure to unsubscribe from those pesky marketing newsletters. Now we all been there, we bought something online and then we basically in the funnel of those marketing companies and they keep on sending us the latest offers and they create that FOMO, the fear of missing out, and we feel like we need to buy that thing. So what I've really done is go through my inbox and make sure I unsubscribe from all those marketing emails to not be tempted, because it's like chocolate at home. Once you see it, you want to eat it. The same as if it's in your inbox, you see it, you want to have that item. We're all humans, right? So make sure you minimize those distractions, unsubscribe, so that actually allows you to declutter your inbox and at the same time you're gonna have less distractions. Point number 5, and that's actually more a rule that I do for anything I really want to buy. There's a lot of things that I'm excited about, right, that I feel I really want, but I always make sure that I wait 7 days, a full week, because if after 1 week I still want an item, I know I really need it, I really want it. Because a lot of things are impulse purchases. We see something and we think we need it. But actually, if you think about it, a day later, 2 days later, you think, well, actually, I don't really need it, right? And it kind of goes away. But if after 1 week you really want something, you're gonna go for it. I mean, for my first iPhone, I was waiting for 4 years because I was too scared to allocate so much money towards a single phone. On the 5th year, I still had such an urge and I saved up finally enough money to buy my first iPhone 5. And it was such a great feeling and I never regretted it. When I go to the shopping mall, of course I'm being bombarded with great things I want to have, but I hardly ever buy right then, right there. If I see something that I like, I usually put it into my to buy list, go home, and then a week later I will go through it and see if I still want it, I will go and buy it. And if not, I will take it off the list and just move on and save the money. Point number 6, don't buy a car unless you really need to. Look, cars honestly is one of the worst investments you can make. Well, because actually it's not an investment, because an investment usually increases in value over time. A car on the other side decreases in value over time. And I suppose most of you live in cities that are really connected. There's amazing ways to get around. There's undergrounds, public transportations. I myself love going on a scooter around the city, which actually is often cheaper and easier to park. So unless you have your own company where you can write off the car for tax purposes and it actually benefits you, that makes sense. But other than that, I really recommend, if you can avoid having a car, do so, because the monthly maintenance cost, the petrol, the time you spend on looking after the car, the depreciation on the car itself. So this is all money that takes away your investment potential of money that you could invest into stocks, into crypto, into growing your portfolio rather than lowering it. Point number 7. I stopped buying books. Don't get me wrong, I love reading books and I've learned so much from it. But I stopped buying physical books because 2 things. 1, I really started running out of space. I've been living in different parts of the world and I can tell you one of the biggest parts of moving from different countries has been my books, and it's a really challenge because they're actually quite heavy and they take up a big amount of space. So what I've done, instead of buying physical books, I switched to buying digital books. And the beauty is, it all fits on my Kindle. I have about 400 books on this Kindle, which is amazing. And even better, Kindle books are actually cheaper than physical books. So I have the portability, all the books with me at every time. I can read in the bathtub, in the plane, at night. And it actually saves me money because they're significantly cheaper than buying physical books. And it's also good for the environment by printing less paper. Point number 8, stop buying souvenirs. I travel a lot. So what I used to do is wherever I went, I would buy some souvenirs and bring it home, bring it to friends and give it to them. We've all been there. We would buy these magnets. But ask yourself, how many magnets you actually want to have and clutter your house. I don't want to have 50 magnets. They don't actually bring me value nor really joy. And more importantly, when you buy them at the airport, they're usually overpriced. So I'm buying something overpriced for something that actually doesn't really bring me value. I think it brings me value, but it really doesn't. So instead, what I do is I bring, let's say, food items or a bottle of wine from that country, which I share with my friends or at home. And that brings me joy. And on top of this, of course, I have the pictures, the memories. The memories don't come from that one magnet that I put on my fridge, but rather from the memories that are in my head, that are on my picture library. So try to buy less souvenirs and instead save that money. And nobody ever complained about the lack of magnets they have on their fridge. Point number 9, insurances and warranties. A lot of companies actually make their money by selling you all these add-on insurances and warranties, things you don't actually need. I had an iPhone for the last 6 years. I never dropped it and I never bought the insurance. But they always make you believe that in the case something does happen, guess what? There's always something that could happen. But if you insure yourself against anything, any place, any time, you will spend so much money for the peace of mind. But in reality, if you would save that money and something would happen, you can just pay for that. And quite often you would still be way better off. Now, of course, there's certain insurances that I also have, like health insurance. Well, that's pretty much the only insurance I do have. The rest, the companies always want to make you believe that you need it, but in reality, quite often you don't. So really ask yourself, do you need that particular insurance that you signed up for? Or is it just a monthly money drain that's reducing your ability to save and invest those savings for the long term? Point number 10, don't buy things on sale. Now again, there's so many temptations out there, especially when I think of Black Friday or holiday sales. It always seems like such an incredible deal. 30, 40, 50% off. Wow, what a bargain. In reality, if it wasn't for the sale, you would have never bought the item in the first place. So instead of saving 50%, you are still spending 50% of money that otherwise you wouldn't have spent if it wouldn't have come to your attention. So I really try to avoid falling for those and buy things just because they're on sale. If I really want an item, and again, going back to the 7-day rule, I buy it nonetheless. So I might overspend in certain situations, but in the long term, by not falling for those sales every time they come up, I actually save because I only buy those items that I really feel add value to my life. So there you have it, guys. 10 simple ways how you can save money and use those savings to invest to grow your net worth over time. If you want to learn more about net worth, check out this video over here. And always remember, don't spend money out of habit or out of ego, the need to impress somebody, but look at the things that add value to you, that grow you or bring true joy and happiness to you. With this, guys, I thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments the things that bring value to your life and the things that you've cut out from your daily spendings. Stay blessed, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao, ciao.